Hey, what is up, YouTubers, gamers, and fellow hobbyists out there? Welcome to On the Beach Repeat, the hobby along, paint along series that you put on in the background whilst you do your hobbying or painting, whatever it may be, or sleeping, or yeah, I can send people to sleep. That's my special power. Point is, you put this on in the background, you set yourself up with what you want to be doing for this session, around about an hour, roughly, a bit less. Hot air, whether you're building something or painting something. We just chit chat, chew the fat, and by the end of the session we've got a nice lot of work done. Now today I'm working on my Rohan horses, and I want to be working on the saddle. Well, the saddles. I guess they're not like saddles, but yeah, I'm going to be working on those. I'm going to be using Word Bearers Red, so it's going to be quite a boring one. I don't think I'll get through them all, but if I do, I do. And I've got a dwarf on a bear metal miniature to tidy up, and a base if I should run out. So first things first though, I'm going to pop this onto the electric paint shaker, and I am going to do that whilst I zoom down and I go down towards the table. So see you down there. Okay, so here we are. I got my glasses on now. I did the under sort of cloth thing, saddle cloth in Rakoff Flesh earlier last week. So I'm going to be doing these Word Bearer Red saddles. Now this is a very browny red, so yeah, it's alright. Let's get a nice lot of water in there. It's quite thin. Bearing in mind I'm going to be putting the riders on top of them, so yeah, you won't see the majority of it anyway. It'll mainly be the outsides and things like that, but that's okay. So I'm happy. I'm off for a few days now, so yeah, I've got a few days off, which is always good. It's a good thing. I'm happy. My wife is away for the week, so I'm not happy about that. So I thought take some time off work and do some hobby. Get some hobby done. Right, I'm starting left to right. So this horse here, I'm going to use a army painted character brush for this for now. Like I say, it's very reddy brown, this, so I literally want to get some videos made in the next few days, possibly even start my D&D campaign. Who knows? The thing that worries me about that is the regularity between episodes. I know people like regularity when it comes to things like that, but I don't know if I can guarantee that, because just because of the way my life is. Oh, wouldn't it be great if I didn't have to work and I could just do this full time? You know, not necessarily for a living, but just, you know, live off my pension or whatnot, but just do this full time. That's the thing I notice with the older generation around here. They don't seem to realise that, you know, us younger folks, we still have to work for a living. You know, so we can't hang around and yap in a shop like you can. Well, that's just the way of it, you know. I want to get like that though sometime. Forget what it was like to work for a living. Oh man, imagine that. Even my sister sometimes forgets she worked all her life. She's retired now, but I mean, she worked all her life, you know, hard work jobs, and she still thinks, oh yeah, you got work. Yeah, sucks, doesn't it? But anyway, what the hell? taking a few days off, which I'm entitled to. I think we'll get these saddles done. They'll look heaps better. Yeah, they're not, the best horses in the world. I've been advised to, put some white splodges on here and there, and I don't know. I quite like the continuity of the brown, but we'll see. Maybe some white socks. Maybe. I have done that kind of thing before, but I don't know. I'm just thinking for the Rohan riders of Rohan. So these are the riders of Rohan from the. This is the Rohirrim from the Battle of Pelennor Fields box set. So I kind of wanted to have quite a unified look, if you will. Yeah. Weather is gorgeous. It's going to be another hot one today, so not going to be going out an awful lot in the heat, if I can help it. I'll try and wait for the cooler times in the evening. Walked Dylan this morning. He's late. He's downstairs at the moment. He's got the back door open. He goes in and out of the garden, at leisure, really. A really cute thing. So I said to my wife, because we knew she was going to be going down to Plymouth for about a week for this course she's got to do for her work. So she's going to be staying at her brother's. So we thought about what, Dylan's obviously going to be missing her. So I said, look, why don't you just wear one of your vest tops, older ones that you don't mind getting rid of. Wear it to death, She likes to wear clean clothes every day and that, most people do, I suppose. But I said, look, just wear it of an evening, of a night time or something, so that you get your scent well and truly embedded in it, and then on the second day I'll give it to him. And I've given it to Dylan, and he's just carrying it around everywhere, and he put his head on it and slept last night, and I was like melting my heart. It was like, oh my. He had his nose buried right into it, and it was the cutest thing ever. And that's number 2. That's number 2 done. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Out of 12. 10 more to go. Can we do it? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I've got a couple more board games on the way. I think, my whole philosophy of get ready for retirement. Well, it's more a case of in case I retire. I don't the way this government is going, I don't think I'll be allowed to retire. I might not live long enough, but just a great shame, because I'd like to have a few years of retirement before I pop my clogs, in a relatively healthy state, relatively able condition. That would be nice. But this government is determined to not let us keep raising the retirement age. Personally, I think people that have disabilities, conditions that are not necessarily life-threatening in themselves, but life-shortening, should have the option of retiring earlier on a state pension. I know technically you can retire whenever you want, but you don't get your state pension till they say. That's number 3. So yeah, it's just the way I feel about it. People may disagree. Well, that's fine. Disagree. The government misappropriates your pension funds anyway. It's like so corrupt. Do you know, I feel like I'm living in Star Wars sometimes with the Emperor. You know, the Phantom Menace. No, not the Phantom Menace. The Attack of the Clones, where he said to Senator Amidala, he said, "If I'm elected, I promise to put an end to corruption." Yeah, they all say that, mate. They all say that. This is nice and therapeutic. I'm sat here literally at my desk by the sun, painting. Got a cup of tea ready to go. My second cup of tea today. I've already had a coffee because I walked in early, and it's good that we walk in early, especially when the sun comes up. It's boiling, you know. And plus, you know, you get like tourists and people out with other dogs, and it can get quite chaotic. So it's good to be out early when there's hardly anyone about. Just like the odd council worker here and there, or delivery driver, and that's good. You get to know them. Number 4, Dylan got to know one of the council workers, and he's called John, but he's been off sick for a while, so he hasn't seen him for a while. But every time he sees a council worker in a council van with their like Dayglow orange reflective jackets get out of the van, he's like gets all excited because he really liked him. I wonder if we'll see him again. He's got a lot of fans in and around the town, has Dylan. My brother and sister came around the other day. I haven't seen my brother. I don't see my brother very often at all. But normally, that's the first time I've seen him since I had my seizure. He was quite taken with Dylan, I think. So my sister says. I thought to myself, well, how can you not be? Of course you'll take him with him. He's an amazing dog. He's so well behaved. Saying that, I'll probably go downstairs in a minute and find out he's like dug up the entire back garden or something. Yeah. Hope not. I do hope not. Well, that's 5. Yeah, we'll easily get these done for this stage. I'll pick one from the other end, start working my way back. This is Word Bearers Red that I'm painting them in. Well, it's a very browny red, you know, and I think that suits it. These aren't the most amazing horses in the world, but I'm happy with them. I like them, and I'm going to enjoy them on the tabletop when I start playing the Lord of the Rings tabletop strategy game. Oh, once I've painted these up, I'm going to be probably going back to my role-playing figures. And that was my phone dinging. I'm going to have a look at it in a minute, because it's dinging twice. Because, you know, my wife's down in Plymouth and she likes to know I'm okay and stuff. She's probably on a break right now or something. I'm glad to get these few days. I'm working on Friday, but I'm not working tomorrow or Thursday, which is nice. And then on Friday, after Friday, might get a takeout or go out for a meal to celebrate Mrs. Mini Warzone coming home. Gotta put a little bit more water in the mix, because it does dry out. The paints dry out. I'm mixing them on. You can see just in the corner there. It's a Citadel mixing palette paper, which is alright. Ah, dear. Yeah, I want to get the riders done. They haven't even started the riders yet. You know, they're not even put together yet. I get the riders done, glued on the horses based and finished, and then they can go in the Pelennor Fields box, which is on top of my wardrobe right now, in another room. Oh, excuse me, I'm just yawning. Oh, because I've got leisure today. I can do what I want when I want. You know, go out, get some lunch. I've had breakfast. I'm not really that hungry. I might get some fruit later. I really like nectarines. There's a fruit and veg shop here that does beautiful nectarines. I mean, they are to die for. So juicy, just lovely. They do nice peaches too. They're very similar, like same of the peach family, aren't they? Really. Yeah. Okay. I think the hardest bit on these will be like the silvers, like the buckles and things. That'll probably take a bit of time to do, but that's alright. I'm not in any rush. Like I say, long time before I retire yet. Sadly. If I could just come into enough money or make enough money just to clear my mortgage, then I would have more options. I could at least go part-time then. That would be brilliant. Yeah, going part-time, that'd be amazing. The dream. I don't think there's many jobs I could do here where I live working from home, if any. Set up some sort of business, I suppose. There we go, another one done. Yeah, really coming on with these. Yeah, and you got I'll call it saddles, but this isn't the best brush I've got either. I should really go through my brushes, to be honest. I do throw away brushes when they're really knackered, but I don't know. Here's a question for you guys. Do you get like a favourite brush? Do you get attached to it, like when you're painting, you just go to it all the time for everything? That happens even when it starts to split and fray and stuff. You think, wow, it is my favourite brush. I do paint well with it. Blah blah blah. I've got a pot noodle for lunch today, so I'm kind of good. Pot noodle crisps. This is just so lovely here. It's gorgeous. Oh, I've bought a brand new washing machine. Go me. I mean, the one we've got, it was here, it wasn't new when we arrived, it was, the former owners, and, the brushes went on the motor, they had to have that repaired, and now the switch is gone in the door mechanism, and I just thought, well, let's just get a new one, and start from scratch, and you get repairs then. It's all the same age. Plus, you get like the 12 months warranty, electrical goods, the 2015 Consumer Goods Act, UK law. So that's the thing. They try and sell you care packages as well, which you don't need because you are covered under law with electrical goods. So for 12 months you are covered. I'm trying to say, if anything goes wrong, we'll replace it. With this care package, we'll replace it or repair it free of charge. But it's like, well, you're legally obliged to do that anyway, so why would I pay you an extra? They do try on them, and people do fall for it. Sadly. I know businesses have got to make money where they can, but I don't think that's the way to do it. Mislead people. You're just hinting that if you don't pay it, you won't have those options. Older people perhaps maybe won't realise that. But yeah, you've got them. You are protected. Oh dear. There we go. Look at that. Sometimes I wonder. I was wondering today. I was thinking about people in. I don't know. It came up. I was just thinking about my old bands that I've been in. I was trying to remember all the members and wonder if they're still doing music. Wonder what they're up to. Sometimes I wonder what people from my past are up to. Whilst I'm still here, back in the past, trying to figure out if I can find anybody from my long ago past. I can hear Mr. Downstairs. I just hope he hasn't dug up. But he likes digging. He seems to have a fetish for digging. I mean, yeah, I can fill in holes and things, but it's manual labour, and I can do without it on a hot day like today. He's got one of those cooling mats for dogs. Absolutely brilliant. I love standing on it barefoot because it really is cool. I don't know how the science of it works, but it's like standing on a blanket you've kept in the fridge for ages or something. Don't know, it's weird. Got one for my cat as well, but he don't go on it. He refuses to even try it. So if you don't try it, you ain't gonna know, are you? But nah, he's a strange one. Yeah, I've got a couple of board games on the way. I've ordered another Ravensburg board game because I love them as a company. They're like the German company that make jigsaws and that, but they do amazing games, board games, for simplicity. I like simplicity, especially with my condition and things. Games like Warhammer and war games in general, they're not the simplest. So thankfully I have the basic knowledge of how to play the game anyway, and with new additions and just the changes are more like nuanceical, so rather than major changes, but I hate having to try and keep up all the time. That's what I like about board game. The rules are there, done, and that's it. Right, that, my friends, is the saddles all painted for all the horses. Now that, to take my glasses off for a moment, I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. So that's happened a lot quicker than I thought. So yeah, it looks like. Mind you, I could dare to start doing what do you call it? Silvers, buckles. Got a lead belcher here. Could do it. Got it right here. I need a smaller brush though. I don't know. Yeah, this is my homemade Nazgul. Or just creepy rider. Call him what you will. So anything word bearers red could go on him. Don't think so, but I am going to put it on the band around his helmet here. I don't know, I just want to break it up. This has got nothing to do with Palinor Fields. This was a tutorial I was working on, but I've long abandoned it because I don't think people need to see how to paint basic armour these days. But I'm hoping to do some other tutorials at some point. Stuff more like how I paint. Not necessarily a tutorial, but just how I painted my whatever it may be. Actually, I'm going to use that. Painting the pauldrons on his armour. I mean, why not? Space Marines do it. Sorry for the silence. I'm kind of not holding my breath, but I guess I'm a little tense because it's a bit more fiddly. I find fiddly things definitely more difficult since my seizure, but I get through it. I get through it. Yeah, so that's cool. Done that. Yeah, that'll work. Well, I don't know. Nothing really I could do on that one. Nope. Right, okay. So back to the original of, do I start the metallics on them? It's done 31 minutes. Do I start the metallics on them? Possibly. Yeah, I would need like I said, I would need a smaller brush. Not insane detail, but like maybe. No, the Psycho, that's far too small. What we got here? Insane detail? Maybe. What about detail? Just bog standard detail brush? Or what have we got here? This is a 3-0. Oh, I love these 3-0 brushes. I might use that. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that brush. See, I have got rid of a brush on camera for you all to see. Done it. Proves I can do it. Right, so I am gonna try and do some metallics, I think, on these horses. Yeah, so I'm going to pop the lead belcher onto the electronic paint shaker. Bear with it. Ready? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Now, back to thinning it down. So I have 2 blobs on there. And the other popped because it's a metallic. And yeah, I prefer to use water these days. I certainly don't like using mediums to thin down because it does clog up detail, whereas water does not. It just evaporates, and that is so much better. Okay, right. Got to find the buggers first. I've got to find the metallic areas, if I can. So when these are done, there will be a what do you call it? A showcase, I think is the word. Yeah, I think it's called a showcase. I'm going to give him a little bit of plate mail armor. That's good. So I want more. These are my horses, so I can paint them whatever way I want. No one can tell me different. Oh no, they only had leather on the horses' faces. Well, too bad. I've got metal, so I think it looks better. It looks cooler. And that is the way it is, my friends. Actually, he's going to have metal going right up here. Oh, that looks so much cooler. Yeah, like that. This is a 3-0 brush, by the way, like I said. They are amazing. I forget what make these are, but they're pretty good. The only difference I found between these and more expensive ones is they don't last as long. But while you got them in their prime, like this, they are just as good. They perform just as well. Oh, that's looking fantastic. I like that. Yeah, that looks great. I've painted more. Do you know, in my lifetime, I've painted more ponies than I have horses. Like pack ponies and things like that. First one I can remember still, the first one I ever painted was called Pebble the Pack Pony. It was in a box of Citadel miniatures. Oh, those are the days. Right. I know my wife's counting down the hours when she come home, and I don't blame her because I would be. God, I so would be. Well, that's the first one done. Second one, I'm going to paint his face in the same armour here. My horses are protected in battle. See, that's the way I'm looking at it. Because I view my horses with more care. Think of the horses, you know. Think of the horses. Think of the horses. Oh, that's quite a good name for the video. Think of the horses. Just think of the horses. Yeah, I like it. This is more therapeutic than I imagined, actually. Well, I imagined it being fairly therapeutic because of being off. You know, being off of work, having no responsibilities other than, you know, looking after your immediate pets and things, is so freeing. It makes... It just makes for a far more relaxing time, I suppose, is what I'm looking for. Well, I'll do the third one. And I might have to do something on the king. Possibly. Yeah, it would be this way if I didn't have to work. Because at the moment, everything, you work all week, right? So you work 5 days. Then you have to pour all your chores and tasks into 2 days and try and rest. You guys know that is a tall order. Trying to get a rest from a week's worth of work. Clean the house, do this, do that. It's not an easy task, is it? Hey? Not an easy task, so... Yeah. 2 days. Of course, if you had more than 2 days, you had a longer weekend. If weekends were 4 days long or something. You could do it. It would be easily doable. And at the end of the day, you got to think about the horses. You got to think about the horses, dude. That's just not fair. The king can have some silvers and golds on his horse. Of course. Well, that's 3 in. Oh, let's do 4 before I get to the king. Of course, Battle of Pelennor Fields. There were many Rohan riders, weren't there? More than 12. I think there were more than 12 people on horseback in that battle. But we've got 12 to represent it. I've got Riders of Rohan in the War of the Rohirrim box set, which I haven't opened yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the sculpts are like in that, because 1, I expect they'll be slightly bigger, and 2, I expect they'll be slightly better, more detailed, so right, there's 4 horses in. Let's have a look at King Theoden. King Theoden himself, well, of course he's got some chainmail. That's good. These chainmail skirt things they wear, or they wore. You saw Gimli put a large one on in the movie. Quite funny. Those Lord of the Rings movies by Peter Jackson, they had a phenomenal sense of timing to do just a tiny little bit of comedy relief just when it was needed, just what was needed. And I think that's pretty genius. I think it is anyway. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Mr. Jackson. As someone who has studied film for a degree. Why did I do that, I hear you ask? Well, I didn't really. I don't hear you really. I did it because I wanted to be a film director at one point in my life. That's next door's dog barking that you can hear. And Dylan just whined at him like, why are you barking? I don't. He's not a very barky dog, Dylan, to be honest. And I'm thankful for that. But he is a howly dog. When I'm finished of this video, I shall be going to get lunch, I think. I can hear him scraping. Dylan! I'm thinking, what? Trying to scrape here. I gave him a rabbit's ear before I came up, and he was trying to bury it in his bedding. He likes to do that. Yeah. Dogs are funny. Alright. I'm not sure how I should approach the shield as yet. I'm going to do the face armour in silver on the king's horse, all of it at the moment, and then I'll just pick out bits in gold later. I don't know, do a Balthazar gold or something a bit lighter. I don't know, but I'll choose that at the time. Nearly there. Then we'll be back to the standard horses then. But this is good. This will give King Theoden's horse some point of interest. I'm just going to do King Theoden on foot as well. A few bits. To do his chainmail vest, because this is the same character that is on the horse, so it's got to be done the same, you know, which is easy enough. This is a nice pose, actually. It's nice and open, and that is good. And I'll also be able to do a daily update as well today with what I've done. And that'll be nice. Nearly there with it, and then we'll be back to the horses. Back to the horses, back to the horses. Okay. Don't know about his helmet yet. As in, I don't know how I want to approach it. So back to the bog standard horses. We're on 53 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to be able to finish all these. I'm sorry, don't get to finish them, but we'll look back and, be like, wow, look how much stuff I have done. And I certainly wasn't even expecting to get any paint put on King Theoden's horse, or rider or whatever, miniature, in this session. So that's good. It's all about the horses. So think of the horses. Think of the horses. Don't forget the horses. Good stuff. Good stuff. Think of the horses. That's good. So 5 horses in. So if I do 6 horses and then end it, perhaps that will give me half of the normal horses done. I can finish the rest off camera for my daily update, and that'll be great. Don't forget, let me know what you guys are working on. It's great when you do put down what you're working on these videos. I absolutely love reading, because it makes me think, wow, people are actually using this video for what it was intended, and that's fantastic. I know I can talk about some nonsense at times, but I could talk about things you disagree about as well, or disagree with, but it does make the time go. By the end you'll have done whatever it was you were doing. I'm just going back over the reins of some of these horses, making sure I've got it all. Missed some of them, but that's alright. It's cool. Right, and the last one. I didn't get to my dwarf on a bear in the end then, did I? I thought I would have to. Turns out I didn't need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 then. It's just these. We'll go on. We'll do one more, since you asked so nicely. Since the weather is so nice and I don't want to leave it, this is a nice place, because another thing I've found, when you're in a zone like I'm in now and you leave that zone, it's very hard to get back in that zone. Incredibly hard. It's in fact, I don't think I've ever done it I'm not saying it's impossible, but you just don't have the right mojo when you come back to do it. I don't know what it is. It's a phenomenon of sorts. Okay. Right, so that's 7 horses done with the normal. The normal horses done. Right, so, and that paint that's left on the palette will be drying out now. So, I think this is a good place to cut back to me. So there we go. Thanks ever so much for joining me on this episode of On the Beach Repeat. Managed to get the saddles painted and the metals done on, well, the silver's done on King Theoden, or the majority of them, and 7 of the standard Rohan horses, the Rohirrim. So thanks ever so much for that. I'm just loving this weather, it's just gorgeous. So I'll be able to do those, and I'll do a daily update for it as well. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Don't forget, all brushes lead to war. Please like this video. Please, I am begging, but I'm not begging for money. Just please like the video. Share it if you can. It really boosts my analytics, and when that happens, at the end of that week, I get oh, this is what happened. Oh, look, your video was shared this week, and it makes it's phenomenal difference in the analytics. So thank you if you can do that for me. I really do appreciate it. See you guys on another video, and have a good rest of your day. Bye for now. Bye bye.